Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I've been watching the Hobby Lobby clearance hauls and everyone has gotten some really great deals. So I felt compelled to go to Hobby Lobby as well to see what I can pick up. And I really found some great items, so I decided to do a quick video, but I'm going to focus not on everything I purchased, but on the things that I thought were really great deals. So I'll show you those and maybe give a brief explanation of why I think they were such great finds. And I hope you enjoyed the video. So let's get started. One deal I'm really glad I picked up are the Brea Reese metallic pens. They were $12.99 initially. I would have never paid $12.99 for them. There are 6 pens in a pack, and I bought them for $1.99. And the reason I think they're good deals is because I just happen to like multicolored, glittery pens in my art journal and other work. So I thought anytime you can get metallic ink for under $5, that's excellent. So I'm really glad I picked these up, and I haven't tried them yet, but I'm going to do some review videos, and if they're worthwhile, I will do a video on that. So the next item I want to mention is also a coloring item, and these are Copics. Now, I think the Copic clearance slipped under the radar for a lot of people because you really had to look in the Copic cases to see which markers are on sale, and not all the markers are on sale. So I picked out a few colors, and I think 6 colors were on sale. And Copics, as you know, are alcohol markers, and they're not the sort of markers that you can just buy on your own if you're really not adept at blending. So I bought these colors in particular to fill in some of the gaps that I have with the existing Copic markers I have. And they were marked at $7.99 and $6.99 initially, and I got them for $2. And Copics, you can Michael sells them, Dick Blick sells them, Jerry's Artorama online sells them. So you can get Copics at reasonable prices, but I think $2 is particularly good. And I'm just sad that they did not have more at $2. The other thing that I want to point out is a Faber-Castell big brush pen, and this is in cold gray. I'm not sure what the original price was. This was out of actually it's right here on the pen. It's $5.99, but I got it for $1.59. And this is a great pen. It's got a brush tip, and it's great for using for shading. So if you want to give your artwork a little bit more dimension and depth, the grays are a great way to do that. So I thought this was a good deal, and I'm going to get an awful lot of use out of this. The next item is also a pen, and this is the Higgins India ink pen. India ink is a permanent ink, and it should not smear when you're applying water media over it. I don't know the original price, but this one was $1.50. Hobby Lobby had, I think, 3 sizes of them, 1 millimeter and another one that was a bit bigger, but I was pleased to be able to pick up this pen. And flipping it over on the back, I was right. It is a water resistant pen. It's matte. You can dilute it with water. So you can get a lot of use out of this. And this is particularly useful if you're doing an art journal and you want to do some mark making or writing and then watercolor over that. Once this is dry, this ink should not smear. So next deal is also a Brea Reese set, and this is Brea Reese alcohol markers. And Copics are alcohol markers, as we all know, but here's a set of 6 for $4.49. I have not previously used the Brea Reese brand, so again, I'll probably do a review. But I thought even if they were horrible, $5 for 6 markers, so that's a little less than $1 a marker, probably about 75 cents or 80 cents or so. That was a pretty good deal, and I was willing to give them a try. And as I mentioned, these are 6 colors, and they're broad and fine point tips. So they probably, yes, they are. They're dual tip markers, as you can see. So you can get both your broad and your narrow strokes out of these markers. The next item I want to mention is not Brea Reese. It's Art C. These are the glitter pens, and I think these are supposed to be similar to the Wink of Stella's. These are in 3 colors. Primary colors, green, blue, and red. And as you can see, they were $14.99 originally, and I got them for $3.75. I believe under the label, it says that they are glitter brush pens. So they have brush tips. And the good thing about these is that they are, I'm almost certain that they are water-based, which means that you can blend them. So although they are only 3 colors here, you can mix these colors. You can also dilute them with water to get the effect of the paint colors that you're looking for. And the package says that they are refillable and reusable. So once you use these up, my guess is that you can refill them with the in fact, there's a little photo of those Brea Reese inks that everyone, no, I'm sorry, these would be the artsy inks, but you can probably refill them with the Brea Reese inks that everyone was purchasing, as well as any other ink. And speaking of ink, these are the FW Rowney. These are the Rowney FW acrylic artist ink, and I love these inks. I've been working with them for years, and I was thrilled to see them on sale. They were originally, let's see if there's a price, $5.99 it looks like, and this is for the gold, a metallic again, and I love metallics, and they were marked down to $149. So I bought these towards the beginning of the Hobby Lobby sale, so they were $149. I think they were closing out the entire line of these Rowney inks, and they have since started stocking another brand, and I'm not sure. No, it's not the P.H. Martin. I can't remember what it is, but they're now stocking another brand of acrylic ink. So I guess that's why they were closing these out. A little later, towards the end of the sale, in the later dates of March, I happened to be in Hobby Lobby, and I saw that certain colors of the Dr. P.H. Martin iridescent inks were also on sale. These were originally $8.99, and they were marked down to $2.25. And again, I really like these as well. I've worked with them for years. I love iridescent inks. So I picked up 2 colors of these. Here's the other one. This is Crystal Mint, and the first one is Frosted Peach. And I was a little sad that not all of the iridescent colors were on sale, but I have a workaround for that, which is I have a bottle of iridescent medium, and I've used these to mix with the inks in the past. So if you take a plain ink that's not iridescent, like this one here, and this is it looks like it's dark green, and this is the Rowney ink, and you mix it with a little bit of iridescent medium, you get a nice iridescent color. So it's like having the originally mixed iridescent ink, but it's a DIY, and that way you can get any color you want with an iridescent effect. Love that. And I'm going to pause for a second because I know I have a project using the iridescent ink, and I want to find it to give you an example of how well they work. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So I found actually 2 projects that I made, and this was some while ago, using the iridescent and the acrylic ink. And it's something I like to do to include depth and dimension in an art journal page. And what it is basically a piece of corrugated cardboard, and it's coated with gesso, and then I did some drips, and with the the iridescent inks and the acrylic inks. And you can see right here is where I use the iridescent ink a lot. And this black stuff is probably black lava gel, which I love to work with. But you can see the shimmer and the shine that you get out of that. And it's just a nice, messy, grungy project, but it still has the lightness of the acrylic ink and the iridescence. The other thing I found, and I forget how I did this, but I believe it is gesso. No, I think this is modeling paste on burlap, but I know I colored it with the iridescent acrylic ink, and you can see the changes in the color there. So these are why I consider these inks a really good deal, because I love to do projects like that, and I love the shimmer that the iridescent ink gives. All right, the next, what I consider a good deal, are these Tulip Color Shot paints, and they're intended to be outdoor exterior paint. They're spray paints, or fabric paint actually, but so I'm not sure why it says outdoor, but maybe it's fabric that you spray outdoor. Oh, it says upholstery spray, so I guess you're intended to spray it outdoors. This is aqua, this is kiwi. Love these bright colors. As you can see, Hobby Lobby was originally selling these for $12.99, and I got them apparently on different days for $1.12 and 86 cents. Now, I would have loved to have gotten them both for 86 cents, but I'm not going to argue with the $1.12 because that's a really good deal. And although these are outdoor sprays, the reason I like them is I like to use them in art journals. And I will show you an example of a project using spray paint in an art journal. And in fact, I was working on this last night, and this is the reason why my hands are all grungy with spray paint and glue. Oops, that is the spray paint crashing. as you can see, I did this with spray paints and stencils and stamps, but all the coloring here was done with spray paints. And the reason I like to work with the spray paint is because they give you quick, intense colors and they dry very quickly and they don't move. They don't smear if you're going to use other water-based paints or any other paint on top of it. So it's a good way to lay down a foundation in our journal page using those spray paints. So that's why I consider that a good deal. I haven't worked, it's colorant, and I suspect it says it's a concentrated pigment designed for use with mosaic grout and indoor-outdoor cements. It was originally $4.99. I picked it up for $1.25. I have not used this before. The reason I picked it up, though, is because it really just looks like a big bottle of pigment. And as you know, pigments are pretty darn expensive. The way I plan to use this is to color my own gesso or color my own molding paste. And it's really good. Pigments are really good for coloring molding paste because molding paste usually comes in a white base. And when you tint it with something, you get a variation of the color you're tinting it with. So if you tint it with a red, like this is a deep red, with molding paste, if you're using a liquid, you might get a lighter red. So I found if I can use powdered pigment, I can get the really intense color I want when I'm tinting molding paste without too much of a color shift. So hopefully that is going to work, and I don't see a reason why it would not. They also had red, yellow, and green primary colors, which you could certainly mix. And I did not get all of the colors. I'm not sure why. I wish I had, looking back, because this is a super good deal for a huge bottle of colorant. And hopefully it will work as well as I think it will. All right. Next deal is a bottle of white Tempura paint. This is not Tempura, it's Tempura. And this was originally $1.99, sold for 50 cents. So it's an average deal. The reason I'm including it in this video as a good find is because it's a giant bottle, or it's a decent sized bottle, 16 fluid ounces of white paint. And white paint can be used as a base. It can be used instead of gesso. You can use it in art journals to block out items. You can use it for design elements. I'm going to show the journal page I did again last night. And this is gesso here on this stencil, and this is gesso on a brush that I use here in the background. But you could easily use white paint. So white paint is very versatile, and it's also great for mixing colors. If you want to lighten a color, or you just want to add some lightness to a page or your work, white paint is great for that. So I thought as a tempera paint, it's good. I would not have to worry about being wasteful. Since it's tempera, it's going to clean up easily with water, so it probably will shift if you're using other water media on top of it. So you will have to seal it, or be careful at what stage in your work you're using it, but I still think it's great just to have an extra bottle of white paint around. All right, I'm almost done. I think I've got about 2 or 3 more items left. The next deal that I consider is a good deal is the ink blending tool by Ranger. They were originally $4.99, and I picked one up for $1.25, and this is the foam tool. So you would use it with a pigment ink, and if you've seen any of the Ranger videos or any videos on YouTube, you know it's a great way to apply ink or color to a page in a very smooth pattern, so that you don't see, you apply it in a circular motion so that you don't get the square imprint of the tool. So I thought that was a really good deal. There were not too many of those at my store. One item I want to mention as a good deal, another item, is the Dylusions Paint. Now, this is actually not one of the paints I purchased at Hobby Lobby. I think I purchased this online at ozak.com. And shout out to Ozak, because if you did not get the paints at Hobby Lobby, Ozak, OOZAK.com, has really good prices. But at Hobby Lobby, I think they were selling for $125 on the sale. And my stores did not have them marked down. I saw them in a few other people's videos, and I was a little jealous, but truth be told, I already had the colors that were marked down. So I did not need to purchase more, but I thought those were a pretty good deal for the people that got them. And the reason I'm calling these out as a good deal is for those of you who have worked with this, you know that these Dylusions paints, they're very color saturated. They're very liquidy, so you can spread them really well, and they dry very quickly, and they're very vibrant. So I think these are good paints, again, to use in your artwork. Next good deal is this ice resin. Ice resin. So if you're making jewelry or if you're making little fixings or findings and you want to seal your work with resin, this is what you want to do, what you want to use to do it. And you don't have to mix the resin yourself. It has the two tubes, and when you depress the tube, they should come out at the same time. There's a single point of exit for that. And they were originally $11.99 and marked down to $1.60. And I only saw one of these. I actually did not pick them up in the jewelry aisle. They were in the separate clearance section. So it was a one-off. I did not spend a lot of time in the jewelry aisle. I just could not be bothered because there were so many small items to look at. But I think there were a lot of good deals in those aisles, and I'm happy that I picked this one up. All right, next item, that was a spray paint again, is this book. It's published by Do It Yourself, and it's DIY ideas for projects and tips for every room. And it was $24.99. It was marked down to $6.25. That's a good percentage off, but I bet if I had gone online on Amazon.com and looked up used books, I could probably get this book for about the same price. But the reason I'm calling it out as a good purchase is it's got a lot of DIY ideas, painting and crafts and things you can do around the house. So I'm really looking forward to flipping through this and looking at some of the different types of projects. This is cute, actually. You would spray paint the outline of an ironing board and an iron on the wall. I probably will not do that, but I give them props for being cute. So it's got a lot of different projects, and it looks like it's divided into different areas. These are makeovers and home accents and walls and floors. So I'm going to have a good time flipping through this book and getting some ideas for some projects around the house. This good deal, I think this is a good deal. This was originally marked for $49.99, and Hobby Lobby was definitely smoking something if they thought I was purchasing this book for that amount of money. I bought it for $12.50, and I actually bought another copy of this book, or another one of these books, and it was the one I purchased the second time was marked down to $9. So, all right, I had to stand up a bit to get this in frame. So this is a hardbound artist. I guess it's I don't know if you call it a sketchbook or a watercolor book, but it is probably, I'm guessing this is 100% rag cotton paper. You can see the deckle edge, and it's got a nice bumpy textured finish, and it's really beautiful thick paper. The reason I consider this book a good deal is because, one, I think this is beautiful paper, but I've also looked at purchasing this paper online, and it's very expensive, and it's expensive to ship here in the States, so I've never actually purchased it. I'm really looking forward to doing some work in this book, and I've read some reviews online for the book, and some of the reviews are critical because they say it doesn't have good sizing, meaning it doesn't have a finish which holds fine art well. But I think with the acrylic work and the gesso and the types of things that I do, this book will be just fine. So I'm really looking forward to working with it. The next item that I consider to be a good deal is this sketchbook. This book was originally $9.99, and it's named Multi-Metallic Floral Journal, approximately 8 by 6 inches. And I picked it up for $2.50, so I was pleased about that. And the reason I picked this book up is it's just beautiful, and I can use it as a journal to carry around in a purse or in a briefcase. But look at the design on this. This is textured, so this is actually bumpy as I'm running my finger over it. And it has these beautiful golds and the aquas and the peacock colors and the blues, and I just think this is fantastic. But look at the closure on this book. So it's a snap, it sort of snaps into place, but when you open it, it has another layer of this pattern repeating, and then you have the paper. Now, the paper is a little thin. I would definitely consider this a writing paper. I would not consider this a watercolor paper unless I glued two pieces together. But again, it is a fantastic looking book, and I just really love the neat closure. And I think it would be a good handy book to keep around in a purse or a work bag just to jot down ideas and notes. So I'm really pleased about that. One additional item I did want to mention is this mini jelly plate. As you can see, it was marked for $24.99 originally, and I paid $3.60 for it. Now, I have a larger jelly plate, but I thought this smaller 5x5 size jelly plate would be good when I wanted to use it in a smaller journal or for smaller print. So it's good as a backup and for a smaller size jelly plate. And it's interesting. I went to one Hobby Lobby and I saw the jelly plate and I did not get it. And I went back probably maybe a week or so later, and thankfully it was still there, and I picked it up, and I'm so glad I did, because these jelly plates are so expensive, but they're a great item to have, particularly if you're doing art journaling or mixed media. The final item that I think I have is this. These are originally, actually this is from Michael's, but I'm going to throw it in anyway. This is $14.99. It was marked down to $2.99, and they are kids gel crayons. And the reason I picked these up, I really liked working with gelatos. I really liked them a lot. I did not purchase any at the Hobby Lobby sale. I don't know if any were on sale, but gel crayons, kids gel crayons are very similar to gelatos. They're really easy to work with. They're easy to clean up. Because they're for kids, they generally are smooth, and you can blend them with your fingers or blend them with some water. And look at the bright colors. I particularly love these, this lime and the blue and the pink and the orange and the green. Those are fantastic colors. So I was really pleased about that. So even though that is not Hobby Lobby, I thought that was a good deal. So thank you for watching the video. I hopefully these items have given you some ideas of the things that you can do with them and integrate into your artwork. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions of any of the art materials. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to do some art reviews. And hopefully I will show some of the items I showed today a little bit more to give some good ideas of the things you can do with your art. And as you can see from my hands, I had a lot of fun playing last night with the paint and the spray paints and the inks. I'm going to clean up today, but these ink stains were well worth it. So thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.